Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to give you something today that is super powerful, and if you're going to try this practice, please watch the whole video because you need to know the sequence of events that is likely to unfold before you enter into this, or else you could find yourself in the middle of absolute panic and chaos. So this practice is pretty simple, but it's going to propel you through a wormhole to make a quantum leap in your reality. And it is believing the basic premise that the person you identify as your twin flame loves you more than you love them. Not equal, but more. Okay? Now, certain things happen when you start to accept this. And first, in order to help your mind to accept this, I just have to give you a little bit of background about how reality works. So your entire physical reality experience is just made up of your beliefs. So your beliefs, whatever they are, your limiting beliefs, your positive beliefs, they create your entire version of reality. So everybody has their own version of reality. For however many humans there are on this earth, that's how many versions of earth are existing, right? Now, when you move throughout time, which is a construct, you're just moving from parallel version of earth to parallel version of earth. You're just doing so in a way that's very congruent. So for example, when I lift up this mug, there's congruency with everything else in my reality because my consciousness is focused on taking the mug from down here to here with the belief that my hand can do it. But there are bigger quantum leaps that we can make, and this is how. So it's through the power of the heart chakra, through love, we can make even bigger leaps. So it's almost like we can collapse, we can collapse time and space and jump from one reality, one version of Earth, to a parallel reality of Earth that's like way over here without having to go boom, 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 right? Really slowly. This whole process could take years. We could do it in months, weeks, days, and I've experienced quantum leaps in my life. In fact, I taught a class on quantum leaps at one point. So for the premise of this, just let your brain kind of wrap around the fact that if you can conceive of a reality in your imagination, that parallel version of reality exists, and you just have to allow yourself to move there through love. And that's essentially how law of attraction works in a nutshell. It's just that we don't really teach it like that. So now that we have that out of the way, if you start to believe that your so-called twin flame, you don't have to call them that, you don't have to even use the twin flame template for this, just throw it out. That person loves you more than you love them. The first thing you're going to experience is a knowing, because you know that this actually is true, because forget about the fact that you could be the same soul. You don't need that shit here. We are all one consciousness. We are all love, okay? You're going to experience a lift of many, many blocks that have been around your heart center, as well as perhaps your solar plexus, which is like down here, and then your sacral is down here below your belly button. So you're gonna start to experience a lift of the energy blocks in those areas, right? It's just energy moving, it's fine. And there might be warmth, and there's like a sense of like, right? Like you've been holding up this armor, and it drops a little bit. Now, as soon as this starts, you're going to have the mind come in and say, yeah, but no, that can't be true because well, they wouldn't have lied to me. They wouldn't have done this. They wouldn't have said that if they loved me. No, 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 no. This is what the mind does. The mind wants to keep you in your version of Earth where it knows what's safe. It doesn't want you to move to various versions. It doesn't want quantum leaps. The mind does not like quantum leaps, okay? This is just a natural thing the mind is going to do. So if you can remain in your state of consciousness that you practice when you meditate, meditation helps with quantum leaps, has to be done every day, then you'll be able to detach from that identification with that fear and just watch it. And any emotions that are coming up, you can be able to watch them. Just observe them. Don't block them. Just allow that all to flow. It's just energy flowing out. This is how energy works. It works through lots of thoughts, fear, emotion. It's just energy. Don't fear it, okay? Now, what will happen is after a few days to a few weeks to months of this, if you commit to it, it's going to be hard to commit to this concept, this belief. The mind, the subconscious mind has to be retrained into a belief. So you'll have to consistently do this for a while. I started doing this about 6 months after I met my so-called twin flame. Didn't even know about twin flames. I just knew about parallel realities and quantum leaps. And I started operating under this premise and we became close again as friends. So it works regardless of whether you know about twin flames or not. It doesn't matter. Now, it's not going to be smooth. Like, you're going to have lots of things that come up. There's going to be tons of resistance, tons of pain. Now, once you get through that, you'll start to have a shift into the next stage of this, which is remorse. And that's going to be stuff like, oh my God, I can't believe that I did this to him or her, or I said this thing that must have been so hurtful. Or I can't believe that I believed that they did this because they didn't, they didn't like me or they were indifferent. You're gonna get stuff that comes up that's gonna be like, no, this is just narcissism. That person's a narcissist. This is all the fear stuff coming up. Just observe it. The remorse part, you may feel extremely compelled to express how sorry you are to that person. Don't do that. There is no need for any action towards them. None whatsoever. Don't start checking up on them on social media. Don't do any of that, and I will explain why, but just trust me here. Do not. If you need to, you can write in your journal a letter of apology to them, expressing for your own sake all of the behaviors you engaged in that you didn't realize you were unconscious when you behaved in them, or the things you said. You can get it out, and then you want to burn it or something. Like, get rid of it. Do not send that to them, okay? And the reason is that, like, if your mind comes up with, but if they love me so much, why could they not read this? Because if somebody loves you that much, that means that you caused them way more pain than they caused you. Do not trigger that pain again. Allow them to be, if they're not around you, allow them to be. Allow them to go do whatever they need to do. Give them the space to live their life and do what they need to do, okay? Like, you would not want to cause someone who you love more pain, right, than you experienced? No, you wouldn't, would you? No. So let them be, okay? Now, this is going to open up a lot of your other relationships in your life naturally, because when you start to realize that unconditional love is coming to you in a vastly larger capacity than you even had for somebody else, you're going to not really care about the little things that are going on in other relationships in your life. You're going to just open up naturally to people. You're going to be happier, more smiley, lighter. Sometimes you're going to feel incredibly triggered. incredibly triggered because a memory is going to come back from the past. And this is what your brain is doing. It's reframing everything into the new reality that you are swiftly moving into. So when we reframe, emotions come up. We have to watch them and let them come up and out. Just experience them and let them go. Okay? Now, eventually, most likely, this person will come into your physical experience, reach out to you. You might run into them. You can allow yourself to be as open as you feel like you can be. You can allow yourself to remain in this belief, this new reality you've created, where this person loves you more than you love them. You can be receptive to that. However, it's a whole different ballgame when you're actually interacting with this person. It's trigger city. It's like a nuclear bomb of triggers, right? So this is something that you can back off of anytime you feel like it. There is no pressure here. There is nothing you need to do except tend to yourself. Take a look at the beliefs that are coming up. Watch the triggers, experience them, feel them fully. And this is pretty much what I coach people to do and through, is feeling triggers, allowing them in the body, and allowing the experience to reshape us so that we're pulled without resistance into a new version of reality. Now, there's going to be a lot of pushback to this, and that's fine. I don't mind at all. Notice all of the beliefs that come up, the fear that comes up. It's just something to be observed. It's not, the only fear we have is of fear itself, right? You've heard that. The only thing to fear is fear itself. It's the truth. There's nothing to actually fear except what fearful beliefs tell you to fear. So that's what comes up during this. And the reason it comes up is because you are now experiencing a full unleashing of unconditional love in such a way that you last felt it during your honeymoon phase, your bubble love phase, as they call it in the twin flame experience, or the love bombing, as they call it in like therapy. And however you want to discuss it, it's that initial romance you had with this person that changed your perception of life. Because during that time, what was happening was you were having a quantum leap. And what happens is that amount of love starts to actually bend reality, which you were experiencing. You were experiencing reality bending. So time wasn't acting like time used to act, it was bending. Spatial stuff was becoming strange. It was kind of like in The Matrix, the movie The Matrix, where the kid has the spoon and he's bending it. And he's like, there is no spoon. You were experiencing that. And that's why it's hard to describe this to people, because it really does sound like you're crazy. And even you think, I think I'm crazy because I had such a weird experience and I can't let go of it because you just opened up to a new reality. Like you can't plug back into the Matrix, right? But at the same time, you haven't mastered it. And that's all that this is. It's a mastery of consciousness is what you've now, that's what your journey really is. It's a mastery of consciousness. So doing this will put you back in that state, but it's highly triggering. So I want you to be aware of that before you go into it. You don't have to do it. You can back off anytime. And if you need help, I'm here for coaching, so you can always get yourself a coach to help yourself through this, but do what you need to do. Just remember that this is a super powerful experiment. It is a practice. It's just creating a new version of reality for yourself, but there is no way to fail. So it's just something to try, and you can't do it wrong. I hope that is something to help some of you out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.